Let's move on now to some more concrete tips for your van life experience. There are different ways of living on the road, and a lot depends on the kind of travel that you want to embark on and the kind of vehicle that you have available. I know there are some amazing fully equipped RVs out there that resemble a 5-star hotel with all comforts that you can imagine. Well, I'm sorry, but this is not the kind of van life that I'm gonna describe to you. I guess you have it cleared by now. What I'm gonna describe to you is a wilder type of traveling where expenses and comfort balance each other out, and you will have to adapt to all different kinds of scenarios. Now, if you followed this online course, as I hope you have, you will have already got a quite good idea of how to deal with all sorts of situations. Situations that are a little different than the usual problem that people have in their normal daily life. What I want to do here in specific is try to deal with some concerns that women might have to face or that they care about in a special way, let's put it like that. So for example, how do you deal with things like basic hygiene, shaving and showering, for example? One of my first worries when I joined the crew was the fact that on the Mary there was no toilet. Well, that was never a problem for the captain. After all, one of the advantages of being a man is being able to pee standing and having the possibility of doing it almost fucking everywhere, right? So honestly, for the first part of my trip, I had to adapt, which meant I had always to look for places where I could feel sort of comfortable to squat down and pee. It wasn't too bad, honestly, and after all, there are many options of proper toilets out there where you can go if you just look for them, many more than you think about, which means I didn't have to constantly only rely on finding a quiet place outside to do my business. Now, it might suck, but if you too are starting your journey with a van that is still not yet fully converted like ours at the moment of recording this video, you might find yourself in a situation where you still don't really own a toilet. Trust me, it's not the end of the world, and probably the best advice that I can give you is the following. You have to seize the moment. So every time that you stop for a coffee, to buy groceries, to fuel up, whatever, every single stop is the occasion you don't want to miss to hit the toilet, because you never know when the next good chance is gonna come. The second main concern is definitely showering. If you don't have a water system in the van, you don't have many alternatives. And if you remember the options that the cap talked about, you can see that it can be summarized more or less like this. Or you always count on camping places to be able to wash yourself, a waste of money in my opinion, or you also use what nature offers you freely. Now, I'm gonna be totally honest, I was so fucking embarrassed and awkward the first time that I took a shower in a lake. Because you have to expose yourself and do something that is out of the ordinary, so it doesn't come easy or natural, not to mention the cold water, for fuck's sake. However, once you do it for a couple of times, you will actually start to enjoy it. And not just because you truly feel good after you've cleaned yourself, but because you also feel more confident and, well, you will start getting used to it, which means it won't really bother you as much as the first time. Also, if you remember all the different ways of showerings that the cat listed in Model 3, I think that one of the most efficient and comfortable ones for me is actually the portable shower. It's true that the pressure of the water is a bit weak, but if you manage to hang it high enough and you have at least a 20-liter bags, it doesn't feel too different from some public showers. Also, the fact that it's actually a shower makes me feel more comfortable in washing myself in places that might be public and where there might be people around. But, well, honestly, this is just a personal opinion. Now, the last big hygiene concern that I want to touch is shaving. Well, not all the girls care about it. I have many friends who don't really mind about their body hair, but I always did and still do because it makes me feel cleaner and a bit better about myself. So how do you shave when you have no running water? Number one, you could use the water from a plastic bottle or from the famous portable shower. Now, I don't remember ever using any of these options in my 2 years of traveling, but still, this is definitely an alternative, even if clearly not a very comfortable one. Number two, same as for showering, a lake could be a solution, but I think that clearly you can see that this also calls for an emergency only situation because I can't really see it as very comfortable or efficient. Number 3, I think your best option is to make good use of the chances that you have when you can be in a proper bathroom to take care of this basic hygiene need. At least this is what I do. Every time we go to a camping place or we are hosted in a house, I take some time to shave because it's definitely the moment where I can do it more comfortably. Now, all this situation can be dealt with in a much easier way if you have a water system and a proper toilet in your van, because you will have your own private space, right? However, my goal here is to present you with all the possible options to still live the van life if you don't have easy access to running water, which, as you can see, is definitely a possibility, so don't give up on that. And don't worry, as we said before, in our water system online course, we will teach you how to design a complete system to have running water in your van, which means you will learn all the steps to build a proper bathroom with toilet and shower included. And well, that's it, so let's move to the next video of this module.